Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Man, what a night. Super Bowl night. Hopefully your team won. The team that I had money on won, so I'm happy about that. Other than that, my Giants weren't in it. Boston's Patriots weren't in it because they're horrible. But so be it. It was a good night. It was a good football night. Man, close game, no blowout. But a lot of commercials, as always, that were in the Super Bowl. And tonight's video is going to be on a lot of those stocks that you saw in the Super Bowl ads. So that'll be coming out tonight at 6 p.m. All right, 6 p.m. tonight. It's going to be fire. Yeah, you need to peep them. There's about 16 stocks now. A lot of good stocks, a lot of good commercials. The J-Lo and Ben Affleck commercial with Dunkin' Donuts. The Binky Dad with Kia. Looks like EVs were abound in the advertisements. The Snoop Dogg, the Diddy commercial. Uber will save you much more. That's in everybody's mind now. That's right. Uber Eats, that commercial was kind of hot. That was kind of hot. So, and if that's not in your mind, if it wasn't in your mind last night, it's going to be in your minds now. Uber One saves you much more. All right, so I'm on my own deal now, so I'm not in the jockey club, so I can sing. I can sing a little bit. The Dunkin' commercial was done less a mile from my parents' house, says John. That was a good commercial. And Ben was like, all right, guys, I gotta go. And J-Lo says, but get me a glazed. There was a lot of cool commercials. There were a lot of Tubi. How many of you got caught out there with the Tubi commercial when Tubi took over your television? How many of you were looking around going, what just happened? Where's my remote? Type a 1 in the room if you got caught out there. Type a 1 in the room if you, because I'm typing a 1. I'm putting a 1 because I got caught out there. I was like, what just happened? That was very ingenious on Tubi's part to do that. That really, really was. That really, really was. My kids said, Dad, shut off Tubi. That was funny. But I'm looking around. I was like, what just happened? So that was good on Tubi's part. So be on the lookout for that tonight. That's going to be the 6 p.m. video. A lot of great commercials. But how many of those stocks would you really buy? And we're going to use the VectorVest system to determine whether or not some of those, which ones of those you would buy, which ones which ones would you play, or which ones would you bench? All right, so I think I just thought that it was the right video to do right after the Super Bowl. All right, Mr. Level Up. Hey, greetings to you as well. I was making Granny look for the remote, says Kaz. That was funny. That was funny. Hey, Braxton, how you doing? I'm really trying to learn the stock market, says Mr. Level Up. Well, you're in the right spot, man. You are definitely in the right spot. All right, so as we open up and we look and see what's going on in the market, a lot of yellow. A lot of yellow in our color guard, which means what? Just like a traffic light, a lot of yellow means slow down. So you're not full-blown bullish, you're not bearish, you're just really managing. Mr. Level Up, this is specifically for you. This is a good time to just manage the stocks that you're in, or if you're not playing any stocks right now, to just wait for the best buying opportunity, because right now the market can go, in either direction. We still have a primary wave down, which gives us right now for the 5th day in a row, the market is moving lower on a week-over-week movement or week-over-week time period for 5 straight days, which doesn't mean that the market is overall bullish right now. So you take the two things, the primary wave down and all of the yellow. This is just a time to be cautious in the market. All of the major indices, as you can see, are up today. A lot of this is in anticipation of the CPI number that's coming out tomorrow. I think the market is going to be a little bit more optimistic that inflation is slowing. And with that, the market could have some more upside potential. So with that, let's go into the software, looking at the VectorVest, the composite, the VectorVest composite, which this looks at the movement of over 9,000 stocks, we can see that coming off the high, which was on February 2nd, the market pulled back. The 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages did fail, but short of the perceived level of support of 57.54. We're trying to move back up with today's update. Very little wick, if any, at the top of today's candle, which means that the market is moving up and it's staying at the session highs or creating new highs for the day. The 3 and the 8 on the day, though, have not crossed back bullish yet. But if the CPI number comes in softer, we could have another run to the upside, even though the MTI is probably going to get us back to the level of being overbought again. Bond market does not predict but reacts. Look at oil prices and watch rates rise. I am a fan. I did a story, I think it was either Thursday, must have been Thursday, on Trending Thursday, that oil looks like it's back on the rise again. Keep your eyes on it. I'm back in WTI playing the oil play right now. Anything can be done by phone today. However, it's hard to read charts on the phone. Well, then that's why you're here, where we're looking at the full-blown system, Fireblazer, so we can look at what's going on. And Fireblazer was answering to Mr. Level Up. And Mr. Level Up, the cool thing about being here on our 3 streams that we have weekly, on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays, you get to see the full version of the VectorVest system to help in regards to what you're looking at on your phone. All right, so do you have to have a computer? The answer to that is no, but you are limited on your phone. You are limited on your phone. Will we get a confirmed down? It's not going to happen right now. The market's got to go down for 2 consecutive 5-day periods, which that's not happening as if, especially if we're starting to rebound. So it still looks like we're in a confirmed up call, and we're going to not change from that. Let's go take a look at that, because on Mondays we do give more of a insight on the market timing. What's your take on BBAI and sound? Lifestyle Coach, as far as from an AI perspective, I like them both. I just did a video on AI stocks. Gave you a lot of stocks between 2 different videos, Lifestyle Coach, on AI stocks. So go check them out. I've given you a good look. And sound is going to be put into the system. If it hasn't already been put in, it's going to be put in the system. But Lifestyle Coach, man, AI is hot, and you need to get on board. That's my opinion on it. Did the primary wave go down? The primary wave has now been down for 5 days in a row. Put that on real quick. Primary wave has been down since, come on, give me a date, 2/8 of 2023. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're working on 4 days down. Primary wave is still down. Where do I find these videos on AI? It's on our channel. I'll see if Joey can put the links to both of those videos in the chat for you. All right. The 3-month chat is for day traders. No, if I'm looking at a 3-month chat, I'm looking at a 3-month graph. I'm looking at a 3-month graph more from a swing trade perspective. But I'm looking at a 3-month chart on the composite because I want to get a fuller view, the last quarter, of what's going on in the market. And there you go, Lifestyle Coach. There's one of them. Joey put that in there. And every video that we do, if you guys are not subscribers to the channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new videos come out. But there's a lot of content on our YouTube channel that you can pay attention to, Lifestyle Coach. There's the second video. Both videos have stocks in them for you, Lifestyle Coach, so that you get a feel of what AI stocks I do like. The interest expense on the U.S. public debt rose to $783 billion over the past year, a record high. If it continues to increase current pace, it will soon be the largest line item on the federal budget. And Dan, you know, I've said this on more than one occasion, that the way the debt is going in, as interest rates are rising, we're going to get to a point where it's going to be super hard to pay back the debt. And then we're going to be setting up for a global reset of debt around the world. And again, I don't know what that looks like. It's just something that I've been saying for a minute. Nobody's going to be able to pay back their debt. That includes us. And every country is going to be like us, and they're going to print money. So with that being said, I think somehow or another, there needs to be a global reset on debt. And again, I don't know how that looks. Does everybody just erase everybody else's debt because we are a global economy? I don't know. But I think that, every country raising interest rates because of inflation, it's going to be super tough for countries to pay back their debt. All right, so, and Mark says, Dan G, exactly why I can't believe the Fed keeps raising interest rates. So you know why, Mark, the reason why the Fed is raising the interest rates is because inflation is still high. What else are you going to do, Mark? And I'm asking this question. What else do we do as a country to combat debt if we don't raise interest rates? Well, the biggest thing is to stop spending money. That's easier said than done, right? That's easier said than done. Rather than raising interest rates, we got to cut spending. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think that that's going to happen. What else can we do as a country to overcome inflation? And the Fed has got the tools to do so, either increase revenues or cut spending. Dear Mark, and I'm right on board with that. When you say increase revenues, who wants to say, well, we're going to raise taxes? Who's going to say that? Who's going to be on board with saying we're going to raise taxes across the board? The middle class is going to be the ones that's going to be affected adversely the most. Nobody wants to be the people to say we're raising taxes on the middle class. All right. Fire half the people who work for the government like they did when Reagan was in office. Oof. Now you're going to put people out of work, make it worse. I don't know. All of these are interesting questions. I don't have all the answers. I'm just putting them all out there. All right. We got 207 people. Let's see what we can do to get about 300 people in the room if we can. I need you guys to share the link right now. Share the live link out on your social circles. Let's get 300 people in the room, because this inflation news is coming out tomorrow is going to be a big portion of what the market's going to do going into the next few weeks. All right. So just keep that in mind. And we're winding down. What is this? January, February. We still got about a month and a half worth of earnings to come out. A lot of the big companies that we were looking for earnings have reported. We're still going to have a lot of other companies, but we got about a month and a half for the first quarter of reporting. All right, go to Home Depot. And when is it? Go to Home Depot and find out your taxes have doubled. I don't know that. I'm not messing with you, Fireblazer. You trying to get me into trouble. I ain't trying to say that. A few years, it will be 35 trillion times 4, 1.4 trillion per year. It will start to engulf the federal budget. Listen, we all know that this is coming. What we do to overcome it is going to be another thing. All right. And the reason why I can spend the time to talk about it is because it affects the market. All of these things that we're talking about affect the market. But with that being said, you guys want to know what stocks that you can get in and out of and make money no matter what the market is doing. So this is an overview from a market timing perspective of what's going on. Let's go see what news is moving the market. Let's go do that. All right, let's go do that. Hard or soft landing, some economists see neither if growth accelerates. That's a big problem for the Fed. The Fed is supposed to be raising interest rates to shrink the economy. But if the economy is still growing, what does he do? And I put this question to you, Mark. Does he aggressively keep raising interest rates because growth is there? If we have growth and we are not raising interest rates, growth is going to accelerate more and inflation is going to get more and more out of hand. Then what? So I think that the federal government, the Federal Reserve, is in the spot where they're willing to overshoot to try to be as harsh as they can on inflation, rather than to let it get out of hand like it did in the past few months. I sell covered calls when the primary wave is down. Is that a good idea, Master? I know Master Glenn. Sell covered calls when the primary, absolutely. That's a good way of of hedging your portfolio. Sell your covered calls on the stocks that you own as long as you have 100 shares or more and they are optionable. Absolutely. It's a great protective measure where you don't have to sell out of the stock when the market is going down, because there's going to be stocks in your portfolio. There's going to be stocks in your portfolio that you really don't want to get rid of because you know long-term they're going to do well. But in the down times, you don't want to sell them and get back into them. A great way to hold on to them is to sell covered calls. So I'm right on there. Why is there a blue pill? Stop, Fireblazer. It can't just be spending cuts. If all discretionary budget items are stopped, we will be short $1.6 trillion year after year. So again, Mark, I asked the question, what else do you do? What else do you do? All right. So let's keep on going with the stories that are moving the market. How the January CPI data, why the consumer price index is in focus this week. That comes out tomorrow. We're going to see what that looks like. And again, if it's weakening, that could be a good boost to the market. Now, natural gas has been asked about a lot in regards to what do I think about it. I still thought that with the winter months coming in, with Russia and Ukraine fighting and all of these different things, that gas and oil were going to be rocking and rolling. And oil is the hardest ETF to play because it's so volatile. If you've been playing natural gas, you probably needed to be on the bearish side for the majority of this time, playing the ticker symbol KOLD. But Barron's had a story about two natural gas stocks that could be still playable. And those two stocks were Chesapeake and EQT. All right, we're going to take a look at these. We're going to take a look at these from a natural gas perspective. I'm going to pull away from oil. It's been so hard to play, but we're going to take a look at these two stocks as well. All right, the government's infrastructure binge is coming. Find the stocks to play is tricky. So the money has been released or being released to the states for infrastructure. And Barron's puts out another cool story about what stocks you can play. I did a story a while ago on infrastructure stocks on our YouTube page. And I'm wondering if a lot of the stocks that are in this story were in my video that I did. I'd probably have to go back and check, but we did a infrastructure bill video all about that. So I'm not going to ask Joey to go look for that because that was a while back. But if you are on our channel, go check that out. Again, we put a lot of great content on our YouTube channel. If you're not already supporting it, please do. Please do. So as I looked through this story, there was a few stocks that I saw for infrastructure case with bulldozers, backhoes, pavers, compactors, all that kind of thing. Caterpillar is on my list. United Rentals is on my list. Companies with sand, cement, and all that kind of stuff. Martin Marietta Materials, Vulcan, Eagle Materials. I like this story because it does point out a lot of stocks that I have been interested in, that I have done videos on, especially in that infrastructure one. So Mark says, CBO, Chicago Board of Options, should subscribe to VV7. Economy would be saved in no time. Is that CBO you're talking about? Chicago Board of Options, Mark, or am I missing it? Who's the best manufacturing companies? Martin, you know something? You know, I would look at the big names like Caterpillar and Deere. As a matter of fact, in here, we are going to be looking at some of those companies for you as well. No, Congressional Budget Office. Thank you. All right. Who just asked me the question about the best? I just saw that. Oh, here it is. Martin. Who's the best manufacturing companies? We're going to talk a little bit about that from this story in Barron's. Barron's also put out another story. Looks like I got four stories from Barron's today. This is about the Biomed space. Swiss drug maker Roche announced the failure early Monday of a closely watched trial of its Alzheimer's drug, that name, sending shares down slightly. But from that failure could open up doors for two other stocks like Biogen and Eli Lilly, who are already in the space, that could get the thumbs up since Roche missed it. So we're going to take a look at those stocks specifically because of this Alzheimer's drug as potential stocks to look at. And I got one more Barron story, Bitcoin falls. How many of you are playing Man, how many of you are still trying to play Bitcoin? Type of 1 in the room. It just seems like it's getting worse and worse. If you're not playing Bitcoin, type of 2. If you're not playing Bitcoin, type of 2. It's been this crypto winter has been tough for anybody who's trying to play. For anybody who's trying to play crypto, folks, it's been tough going. It's been, and I see a lot of 2s. I was blessed to be able to do a story on our local Fox network here on cryptocurrency. I'm not bullish on it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I still think that it's not even going to get back to the levels that it was back once before. I don't think so. I think with FTX and I think with a lot of scams that are being found out there, the trust in the space has dwindled a lot. Riding Riot Roller Coaster says, Mark, I got you. Mr. Level Up says, okay, so Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, you think the price is going to go back down, or should I buy because I see I'm getting a lot of interest back? I am a big fan in the chip space. If you're looking at one of those stocks, I would use a graph to time when to get into it. It's one thing to know that the space is moving, but it's another thing to be able to time to get into any one of those stocks the right time. But there is a chip ETF. I think there is. Somebody hit me up on that. Is there a chip? I swear I've given you a chip ETF. If I have, what is the ticker symbol? All right, Mr. Level Up, I think that would be the better way to go. I believe that there is a chip ETF to play the whole space, I think. And if there's not, if I've never talked about it, I'm going to look it up. I think that there is one. Nope, I don't think it's no, SMH. No. No, it is. I think it's SOXS. I think it is for the semiconductors. I think it is SOXS. As a matter of fact, let's go check that out real quick. I think it says for SOXS. Yep, that's for the semiconductors, but that's on the bearish side. So the bullish side of it is SOXL. All right, that's for the semiconductors. That's an ETF to play the semiconductors. So Mr. Level Up, let's go look at the bullish side of that real quick, just because you asked the question. There it is. Here's the ETF for this, the bullish ETF for the semiconductors. Definitely moving higher, but right now leveling out. I'd wait to see if the 3 can go back above the 8. How about that, Mr. Level Up? You asked the question live. I give you an answer live. So if you don't want to take a specific stock in the semiconductor, I would consider playing the, wow, did you really put Fritos in Dorito? Wow, Fireblazer's on one today. Holy smokes, Fireblazer is really on one today. Mr. Level Up, I like the idea. SMH as well, SMH. That's another one, market vector on semiconductors. So there you go, Mr. Level Up. If you want to be bullish on semis, SOXL or SMH ALZN is in the Alzheimer's race too. So let's go to my stocks that I got for you today. This stock for the Alzheimer's is Eli Lilly and BIIB. You got ALZN. I'll put that in there. ALZN. All right. So that whole space, I think the 3 main things in biotech right now, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's. Any stock that deals with any one of those 3s could be positive plays for you to take a look at. All right. So I'm setting that out there. So now we've got 3, 2 out of a story, but 3, one from you guys, ALZN, who just gave me that. That was We Power Us. I like that. 3 stocks to look at from the whole Alzheimer's space. When you're talking about infrastructure, United Rentals, Caterpillar, Dealer, EQT, notice that for the most part, all of my stocks that I'm looking at for infrastructure by VST are at the top of the list. Interesting, huh? And then the stocks that we're looking at for natural gas, Chesapeake, what was the other one? It was EQT. Chesapeake and EQT are amongst my leaders in VST as well. And the VMC, Eagle, Deere, Caterpillar, United Rentals were for the infrastructure, Martin Materials for the infrastructure as well. And then my other big story was on the Alzheimer's. BIB, LLY, and what else? ALZN. ALZN. My Caterpillar runs like a deer. Wow. I got to, Fireblaze, I might have to put you in the corner, man. You are on one for real today. I love listening, by the way. Thanks for being so engaging. Caterpillar is predicted to go down this year. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you say that Caterpillar is predicted to go down. I, on the other hand, am not going to say the same thing. Where's the price and the value? Right now, as I look at Caterpillar, looking at it in VectorVest, it's currently undervalued. It's got a relative value of 1.33, which tells me that over the next 1 to 3 years, Caterpillar should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 33%. Relative safety is above the value of 1. These are cast on a scale between 0 and 2. Caterpillar makes money more so than it doesn't. RT is above 1, tells me that Caterpillar is in an uptrend. They've got positive earnings. They grow it at a clip of 19% a year. So, Mr. Level Up, I'm not sure where you're getting your information from. All right. So I just analyzed the stock just like that. I just analyzed the stock just like that. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Let's go see what it looks like. It's pulling down. All right, but I've got a solid level of support right now of 239.74. If I think that the stock's got more downside, let's go see if it can break through that level of support, get back into this channel. Let's put this on a 6-month graph. Wow, from a 6-month graph, I'm not feeling it going, saying that it's going down, down, down. Let's put it on a 1-year graph. I don't foresee, again, I don't know where you're getting your information from. But I don't foresee that it's going to go down for the rest of the year. Let's go put on relative value. Relative value is rising. Let's go put on relative safety. Relative safety is rising. Let's go put on earnings per share. Earnings per share is rising. So, Mr. Level Up, I'm not sure that I'm feeling that it's going to go down, predicted to go down for the rest of the year. I don't know if I'm feeling that. Match that up with the infrastructure money going out to the states, that could bolster all of these stocks. So I'm just putting that out there. All right, so should you keep on buying? Let me tell you something. RT is moving up. If I'm going to think about buying it, I'm going to look at a graph, the time when to get into it. I put that back on a 1-month graph first. I'm not going to get into it yet. Nope. The first thing I'm going to look for, whatever moving averages I use, and right now I'm using a 3 and 8 exponential, whatever moving averages I use, I'm going to use that as my early signal to get in. Does that make sense, Mr. Level Up? Let's use some technical analysis to get in. We've already analyzed it, and fundamentally it's sound. It's got good positive earnings and good earnings growth rate. So we've analyzed it, and it's undervalued. I like the stock. But now the next thing is the time when it's the right opportunity to get in. I wouldn't be getting into it right now. All right. Let's go graph all of these stocks real quick. What time is it? 1:28. Let's go put all of these on a 3-month graph, graph them real quick. Wow. There's an infrastructure stocks. URI looks good. All right. URI looks good. Caterpillar, not as good as URI. John Deere coming off a level of support. The 3 and the 8 just bounced on decent volume, good earnings per share. RT is still below 1. It's still in a downtrend, but starting to rebound a little bit. EQT, here's my natural gas play. I did like that it was moving up, trying to move higher, but now it's a down day. I'm not sure I want to throw my money into it just quite yet. EXP, another infrastructure stock, moving down. It's got a solid level of support at 135.85. See if it's got legs to the downside. I wouldn't buy it while the 3 is below the 8. VMC, on the other hand, though, the 3 is above the 8, moving higher, good volume. Earnings is falling, but still higher than it was 3 months ago. And RT is above 1, but starting to fall off a little bit. Chesapeake, there's my other energy or oil stock. Natural gas stock, I definitely on either one of those would wait for the 3 to go above the 8 before I take any part of it. Leroy Jenkins, Eli Lilly. The 3 and the 8 after coming, here's a hammer formation, followed with the 3-8 confirming, going through a level of resistance. I like the play. I like the play. Even though the news of the Alzheimer's opening the door for it, this could be an early entry. Metal Martin materials, I'm not trying to play that yet. BIIB is a little bit of consolidation. I'd like to see if the 3 and 8 can take out this level of resistance right about here before I would jump on board. Eli Lilly looks better than Biomed. And then ALZN just recently went down. I've got a level of support sitting at the level of about 48 cents. It's trading at 59. I don't think I would take it right now because the 3 is below the 8. Let's see if it can springboard off of that level. So those are all my big news stocks for this week. Earnings this week. About 70% of U.S. national debt is owed to U.S. citizens. Obviously, 30% foreign. Just saying. I got you, Willie Joe. Listen, I'm still of the mindset that something's going to have to be done. All right, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's go see if I can make this a little bigger for you to see. Let's go try here. It should make it bigger. Boom! Magic. Do you believe in magic? All right, that wasn't a song from the, the big song from the Super Bowl ads was, Uber Eats saves me much more. Uber Eats. All right, that's it. I'm telling you, I'm going to make it be in your mind before we leave. I'm going to make it be in your mind before we leave. All right, so earnings this week. These are all earnings for today. There was so many earnings coming out this week. On Wednesday and Thursday, I'll give you some more earnings. All right, but here's the bigger stocks that are reporting earnings today. Looks like out of the 8 stocks, 7 of them are trading higher prior to going into earnings, or some of these earnings have already hit. Let's go into my industry ETFs. Where's the money going today? Wow, ALZN is really a dog when we look at it in VectorVest. Love VectorVest. Listen, I'll take any stock out there that's in the news. The power of being here is to be able to look at the difference between what the news says and the analysis that you get in the VectorVest software. That's why you come here. That's why you come here. I got no stake in the game for any of these stocks. I ain't got no skin in the game. The only thing I want you to do is to be able to see what real analysis looks like so you can make better decisions. All right. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol. Uber Eats saves me. It saves me much more. All right. So with that being said, where's the money going today? Where's the money going today? I've got ETFs that cover just about every gambit of the market to the best of my ability. Spider Trust SBI up 1.75%. The Qs are up. Copper is up. Com Services, the S&P 600. Lithium is up. Financials is up. Real estate. Where's the money not going today? The money's not going into energy, gold, uranium, and natural gas. That's where you stay away from. So this is, in essence, my heat map across the globe, because consumer staples, industrials, utilities, oil, healthcare. I try to put an ETF to cover all of those different things. So this represents, for me in VectorVest, my heat map to see where the money is going. To see where the money is going. March 27, they release earnings for this new device, Thrive. What is that? What is Thrive all about? I'm not sure what that is, degenerate gambler. Talk to me. Vero, I'm going to write that down. Is that what it is? Vero, Thrive. Approved robotic skin just hit the market. 60% of their business is based off subscription service for skincare medical equipment during recessions and aesthetic. Interesting. I'm going to check that out. All right. Mark, there we go. Mark just says, I've got a talk show. I got a talk show. Do I have any water? Dang it. I got no water in there. I got some water here. I'm thirsty today. That's not good. I'm thirsty. That's not good. All right. I was a little thirsty. I got more water. As you can see, Dasani, I'm not getting no money from them, but that's my water of choice. That's my water of choice is Dasani. All right. So a good look of where the money is going today, and where the money's not going. Let's talk about the MPI. So, since Tampa, Since Tampa, I'm trying to incorporate some of the things, some of the techniques that we taught in Tampa into my live streams. Today, we're going to talk about the NPI, the near perfect indicator. I've done a little bit of a modification to the 1 day to look for lower dollar optionable stocks. So all of these stocks are, will tend to be under $10 and all optionable. Let's go see what my NPI 1 day last week looked like. Where's the VV water bottle? Right here. Got no water in it, though. There's no water. There it is. And if you go to the VectorVest store, we're still offering 15% off on the VectorVest store. But if you want to save more money, use promo code GLENN23. GLENN 23 will give you 20% off on the store. But there's my VectorVest water bottle. Just no water in it. Nope. No water. It does keep water cold for like a long time. So this is available to you on the VectorVest store for merch. Go check it out. Use promo code GLENN23. Save you 20%. We get to save you. Using that code, you get another 5% off. So let's go see what my MPI 1 day stocks did from last week. We'll go to the 6th. See if they were any good for you. Quick test them. Dag nabbit, they were down. Only one stock went up. And the market outperformed us. Sigh. Listen, when we do good, I'm going to talk to you about when we did good. When we didn't do so good, I'm going to tell you that we didn't do so good. I'll own it. All right, so they didn't help us out unless you timed it. One stock did go up almost 5% in 1 week. Let's go look at the 3 day. All right, and I got some 3 day stocks for you today as well. Let's see what they did from last week. Gosh, still not so good. One stock went down 21%. Woo-wee! But 3 stocks did go up. Tankers, there we go. My tanker stock did go up almost 10%. INSW went up 7.25%, and LECO only went up about 0.7%. But that's what hurt us a lot. MTRX was down 21%, and these are more of a swing trade. The 3 day is more of a swing trade. So let's go look at the 1 day for it that I got for you this week. Let's graph these all real quick. Put them on a 1 day, a 1 month graph. There's the MPI. Let's go put on the layouts. MPI. There's the layout. There it is. So on 1 day, the 5 went above the 40 on the RT. And Fireblazers, if we win it, that's 100% off. Hold on. I don't get that. Ain't no 100% off. What's in the matrix? What matrix? What are you talking about, Fireblazer? I'm gonna stop talking to you. Sigh, I'm gonna stop talking to you. I love the MPI. I use it all the time, says Mike R. I love it too. This is why I'm using it in here. I'd be careful with Oprah. Why? Because it's a lot. I wonder if this was an earnings play. No, it wasn't an earnings play. It was probably a news play, but look at the give back on this. I probably would be very careful with that one. Whereas with this one, Bohr, I like the 5 going over the 40 on RT, a little bit of indecision. I'd like to see it take out the 1 month high first. SY, So Young, Forever Young. That's a different song. All right, 5 went above the 40 on RT, open bar, very little wick at the top, possibility. Wow, SND, I like that. Very, very nice open bar today. A little bit of a shooting star, no follow through. Open bar, very little wick at the top. 5 went. I like this one. SND, I do like that one. SPY, Spry, I sort of like that one too. 5 went above the 40 on RT. Not a lot of wick at the top, but hitting a new 1 month high. All right, so there's a couple of stocks in there that I do like on the 1 day. Let's go to the 3 day. This is more of a swing trade. You can't hear them. You can't hear that. I just hear a sound effect. Did you just not hear that? 300 likes and Glenn will sing Forever Young by Rod Stewart. How many likes do I have? 53? You know me. I always like try to get 100 likes before we leave. And we never got up to 300 people. Sigh, maybe you guys just don't like what I got. Maybe I should just sit here and be quiet. Maybe I should just do that. You want me to sit here and be quiet? I can't get 300 people to get up in the room. Folks, this is good stuff. At least I think it is. At least I think it is. This is good stuff. Another shipping. I got 2 shipping companies in here on the 3 day. All right. All buys. Let's graph these all. Let's graph these all, put these on a 3-month. Again, the 3-day is more of a swing trade. I do like the bottom left, the top right. Just a couple of days off the 3-month high. I do like it. Glenn, how do you put optionable stocks in the Unisearch? I'll do that for you in a second. Mark. All right. Sting looks great. I'm telling you, these shipping companies, when they move just like that. When I move, they move. Wow, look at WFRD. Wow, from a swing trade perspective and the 5 above, I'm like, now it did it twice, but the stock just keeps moving up. I like you to keep this on your radar for a swing trade. I do like that. If you pay attention to the stock Glenn recommends, pick a couple and then ask your wife. She probably will short them, but after you make some money, you will be able to buy 10 cups. Wow. Sonny says there's no way that I could sit still for a minute. I could if you wanted me to. All right. Let's see. Can you hear this now? Joey did something in the background, I think. Can you hear that now? I think he turned it up a little bit. You should be able to hear that. Tell me if you hear that. That's an airplane taking off. You should be able to hear those. All right. What else? What else is in my list? Sting. Now, Sting, you said Sting looks good. John, it's a little choppy. Mike says they can't hear it still. I'm not sure. Joey's got the stuff turned up. I'm looking at what he's doing on the sidelines. He's got the stuff turned up. Don't look at Zim or Starbucker says. They're moving, but not how you want. Zim, I do like for... All right, how about this? I like Zim for the dividend, but they take a lot of that money. I just hit it again. Glenn, go longer term on Sting. Let's go put this on a 6-month graph. There's a 6-month. It does look better on a 6-month. But that's a good swing trade, and it's another transportation. Oh, you heard it? You heard it that time, Kez? All right. You should be hearing it. Joey pumped up the volume a little bit. You should be able to hear it now. All right, so Sting looks good. There's DHT. I think Sting looks better. Yeah, Sting looks better. You can hear it a little now. Okay. Joey's still working on it. You should be able to hear it. I think Sting looks better than DHT. AutoZone is all over the place too. Oof, but just coming up. The last time the 5 went above the 40 on RT, look at that move. All right, it could be setting up again. All right, so those are my 1 and 3-day MPI. My big movers today, here's the stocks that are moving up nicely today. Let's go see if it's well worth it, though. All these stocks are moving up. Let's graph these. Also put these on a 1-month view. NGL, petroleum, little wick at the top, gap. Watch the gap. Normally, if a stock gaps like this, it's going to eventually fade the gap. And I'm going to change the layout to my 3/8 layout. Watch the gaps. Most likely, if a stock gaps up like this, at some point in time, it's going to start fading these gaps. I like the move. I like the volume. I would just be careful from a technical perspective because it has gapped up a couple of days. Wow, Akyu, this is probably news-driven. All right, now, the good thing I like about this is that it's strongly moving higher with no selling back. Nobody's taking profit on the move. The stock closed Friday at 387. It's almost up double that, and there's nobody giving it back. So I like that. Still be careful because that's a lot of move up. What tends to happen after a big move like that is that it moves down. But I'm looking at the volume today and very little give back at the top of the candle. That makes me I'm writing that one down. That looks interesting. From a more speculative play, that might still have some upside. That may still have some upside specifically because there's no give back. Keep that on. This is definitely more of a speculative play. Relative value, fundamentally not sound. Negative earnings. I don't like this long term, but I like that it's moved up bigly today with not a lot of give back today. I like the move on that. VP says, Glenn, you enjoy what you are doing too much to be quiet, and we would not like that either. I hear you. Shippers, are we too late to get aboard? Stephanie, nope. I don't think so. You know why? Let's talk about that. Let's go to the industry viewer, and let's go find that industry. Transportation ship, right? Holy smokes. Let me go layout. Let's change this. Boston had to help me out today. I had a problem with the software. So a lot of these got reset. Let's go look for alphabetically transportation ship. Let me tell you if the transportation, let's auto fit. It still didn't auto fit. That was interesting. Transportation ship. Let's go look at the industry, because that's a good question, Stephanie. Is it too late to get on board? Let's talk about that. Put this on a 1 month graph once it comes up. I'm waiting for it to come up. There we go. Put this on a 1 month graph. Stephanie, does that answer your question? I don't think it's too late. I'd like to see it break through that level of resistance, but transportation ship is just moving. And you know what I like about this, Stephanie? You know, if you look at industries where the 3 just crossed the 8, would you think that that's a good time to get into those stocks in that industry? Look at that. Since the 3-8 crossed here, it never went back down, and look at the industry go. So, Stephanie, I'm going to say no, I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late. Lots of gaps means gapiosity stock. That's true, John. That's true. All right. So that was a good question about the transportation stocks. So that was today's big movers. I'd be careful with some of those stocks, but I do like Ocul. Very little wick at the top. That might still have some room to go. Now, that's more of a speculative play. There's nothing telling me I would want to hold this long-term. Fundamentally not sound. Negative earnings. Even though it's positive earnings growth, negative earnings. But with little wick at the top of the stock, again, I wrote that down. I might actually take a little piece of that. Right there. What time is it? 12:46. I'm right on time. Let's go look at value plays. Let me see if I got some value plays for you this week. Here's my value plays. Let's go to auto fit all columns. PAG, Reliance Steel, Analog Devices, CDW, and Merck are my value plays going into the week. Let's go look at my value plays from last week. Let's see if they went up. You would think that in a choppy market, the value plays would play out better than growth plays. Let's go do a quick test of them. And they did. They kept up with the market. My value plays, there were 6 stocks, 3 winners, 3 losers. CDW went up 5.25% over the last week. We kept up with the market overall. So let's go look at my growth plays for last week. All right. You would think the value plays would, and it did. The value plays outplayed or outpaced the growth plays. Normally, the growth plays do well in an upward trending market. Value plays do well when the market is going through some stuff. All right, value plays like Warren Buffett stocks. All right, growth plays, not so good this week, but my value plays did do well over the last week. So my value plays for this week, here they are. Lithium America is a good lithium stock. I liked what is that, LAC. I still like lithium and uranium as far as commodities. I do like and copper. Those are my 3 top commodity plays right now: copper, lithium, and uranium. You know, copper because it's in everything. Uranium because everyone is looking for alternatives to clean energy or alternatives to fossil fuels. Clean energy and nuclear power plants, nuclear generators are still on the rise globally. And then, of course, lithium because of EVs. All right. So putting all of that into perspective, those are my 3 big commodity plays that I like. Here's my value plays. Again, I'm not going to show graphs. I just want you to see what they are. And then here's my growth plays for this week. I don't think I had a lot. How many? I only had 2 growth plays. That makes sense. When the market is in this little mode of being cautious, the growth plays won't come to the top. The value plays probably will. And as you see, they did. But here's my growth plays. Again, another tanker. So I got tankers in several different places because the space is moving. And Stephanie, I still don't think it's too late to get on board. All right. With that, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about. When we look at what's going on midday market, it's all about getting you guys ready for the week, CPI comes out on Wednesday. We'll get into afternoon market action. And of course, on Thursday, we have the live stream for Trending Thursday. Don't forget that we have the 6 p.m. video coming out tonight. It's going to be on the Super Bowl ads. I put a listing of stocks, and we're going to see which ones should you play or which ones you should bench. Tomorrow, I've got a really cool video for the day, for Valentine's Day. You don't want to miss it. That's going to be at 6 p.m. as well on our YouTube channel. And then Friday, I'll have another video for the 6 p.m. video as well. Glenn, please, Unisearch. Oh, let me do that real quick. All right, real quick. Unisearch, what was the question? I forget what the question was. Looking for what? I forgot what you wanted me to. You did say sound. I don't know if it's into the system yet. I know we're working on putting it into the system. I know that we're working on putting it into the system. I'm not sure if it got here yet. SOUM. SoundHound is there. There it is. They told me it was going to be there. What time is the 6 p.m. video? Mark, you're I'll put that up there. That's for you, Mark. That's for you. Let's go. I'll do that later. But SoundHound is there. Optionable stocks in Unisearch. So in Unisearch, if I want to find all optionable stocks, I go to stocks, filter by, exchange, operator equal to, value. If I want to look at all the optionables, there's the American Exchange. Here's the BATS. It would have an X in front of it. See all of these that say options? That means that these are also, if I want to just look at all of the optionable stocks in the database, I click all of those that say options, click on OK, and now every optionable stock in the database will pop up. Remember, I didn't put anything else in here, but just optionable stocks. And if you look at the exchange, they all have little X's in front of them, which means they're all optionable. So that's your question. Who asked me that question? That was Mark. Mark, that is how you find optionable stocks. Now, I can tailor this. If I don't want to look at some of this stuff, go back. Maybe I don't want the BATs. Maybe I don't want the indexes or the Qs. So now I'm only looking at optionable American, optionable NASDAQ, optionable New York. Click on OK. Now it's just those three. And now I can do the same thing. That's probably where you want to go to find your up. And now you can throw other things in here, price and volume and technical indicators. But that's a good way to start to look through the whole system to see only optionable stocks. All right. Once again, excuse me, done on the fly. I will take any question that I can. All right, I will take any question that I can and try to do it. That's the beautiful thing about the interaction. I want your feedback. Which one would be the best? I like STNG. That's probably one of the ones that are top on my list. When I went and looked at the viewers for, I can also, Stephanie, go into the system, look at the transportation ship industry and do my analysis to answer that question as well. But I do like STNG. Wow, we never got to 100 likes, number one, and we never got to 300 people in the room. I don't know. What else do I need to do? Tell me what else I need to do to get us to 300 people in the room. The 100 likes will come, and I appreciate it, whether it's here or on the replay. But what do you guys need me to do? What information are you looking for to look at to get me 300 people in the room? I need you guys to help me out with that. I did a video on recession-proof AD trans. That's out there as well. A lot of the questions that you ask about videos for us to do, we've done. We have done. Cash. What about cash? All right, what about cash? Sing more, says life. I think I scare some people off when I sing. I do. Give away a mug. We do that. Options. Now, Andrea, I'm limited in what I can do. And there's a tool that I have called the Options Pro, which I could show in here. But Ron is the person that, and maybe I need to have Ron on more often. I think that I might have to do that. I may need to get Ron on here more often to do more option stuff. And he said that he would already do it. Cash bribe, says Sonny. Ooh. All righty then. Joey put up a link. What was that for, Joey?
To subscribe to the channel.
Oh, to subscribe to the channel. All right, to subscribe to the channel. Folks, there's a lot of content that we put out there. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go and do some things and see some people. I gotta see a man about a horse, and I gotta drink some more water. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I still want to get out to more people. I think that the content deserves to get out to more people. You've got to help me to do that, though, folks. You really, really do. All right. Until the next time, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Before I go on, I want to put my condolences out to the people who are in Syria and Turkey. The death toll continues to rise, and it's tough. That's a tough thing. I told my wife the other night, I said, I wish that I could go over there. I would love to help. There's a lot of people over there that are just mourning the loss of loved ones. So I haven't talked about that at all, when I sign out, but I wanted to today. All right. Bom dia. Salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks.